Thank you. This week marks our first ever press conference at Gamescom, and we believe that we have the strongest lineup in Capcom's history. Over the next hour or so, we hope to excite, entertain, and engage. Please sit back and enjoy, and I'm going to welcome to the stage the producer for DMC, Mr. Alex Jones.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you guys for coming. Let me say that one of the questions I'm asked most frequently by members of the press is because this is a rebirth, will there be characters from previous DMCs making an appearance in this version? And normally when you guys ask that question, I usually respond with some sort of lame dodge and then quickly pivot to another topic, which is probably wholly unsatisfying for everybody. But today, as if there are no ground rules, as Ben said, the shackles are off, and I'm happy to say that there will be at least one new character making an appearance in our version of DMC, and it'll be prominently featured in the trailer that we're about to show you. So why don't we run that?
Peggy 18.
The demons are amongst us, Dante. They are enslaving mankind. The world is asleep, brainwashed, and helpless. We're fighting back. I'm with an organization called The Order. Heard of it?
Something to do with that masked freak on the net?
That's my boss.
Wonderful. Can't wait.
Dante, it really is you. My name is Virgil. You don't remember me.
You're my brother.
Your twin brother. I've been looking for you for a long time now. With the two of us working together, I believe that we can defeat them.
So that's what this is about. You need me to fight the demons, help you save the world.
What else were you planning on doing with your life?
You're gonna stick with us to the end, right?
Count it.
Good luck.
That's madness. You would risk the future of mankind for a girl.
Cat put herself through hell to protect us. I am not abandoning her.
Okay. We'll do it your way. This is it, Dante. We have to put our lives into each other's hands completely, without hesitation.
We are brothers, after all.
So yes, Virgil is making a return to DMC. As in previous versions, and as the trailer showed, he is Dante's brother. He's also the leader of the Order, which is a group of scientists, hackers, culture jammers who've all banded together in order to fight the demons in our world. Initially, Virgil recruits Dante into the Order by promising revenge against those who have destroyed his family and sent him to the margins of society. But Dante will become caught up in the larger struggle as well, both because of the seeming rightness of the cause and as well as the opportunity to bond with his long-lost brother. They've been estranged since they were children. And we've talked about in the past this idea of continuity with previous DMCs, and we've displayed that in the combat, some of the weapon selections, and some of the moves. It's also important to make sure that the story has recognizable elements, and including Virgil as a central part of this retelling of Dante's origin is a very important part of that effort. So I'm pleased to be able to share that with you guys today. However, press, man, however, we don't live on trailers alone, and we've also brought a special section of gameplay just for this press conference. So at this point, I'd like to bring on stage Dominic Matthews, the game player extraordinaire from Ninja Theory, who is going to impress us all with his virtuosity. Otherwise, I'm going to make fun of him. And we'll all enjoy that. So we'll see how it turns out. By way of setup, we're going to see something from about the middle of the game. And we've talked in the past about this idea of limbo being this sort of hellish mirror image of the real world where the demons can take direct action against Dante. But they do retain the ability to exert indirect control over the real world by controlling the levers of power and cultural influence, politics, finance, media, news media in particular being a way in which people can be demonized, public opinion can be pushed. And in our world, Dante has definitely been designated as one of the bad guys. So in this mission, Dom, as Dante, will be off to confront Bob Barbas, who runs the media wing of the Demon's Empire, and spent a great deal of the game to this point in the action, I'm going to say it, demonizing Dante. So why don't we hop into that. Now, to make his way to this final confrontation with the boss, Dom will not only have to fight as Dante, but he'll also have to jump, climb, swing, manipulate the environment. This idea of the environment being against you, hostile to your presence and your intentions, is called malice. And it primarily will manifest itself as sort of an environmental shape-shifting, from something as simple as a trapdoor opening underneath Dante, forcing him to react before he falls to his death, to something as over the top and glorious as a building trying to cave in on itself in order to trap Dante in the rubble. And really just about anything in between those two extremes.
Good. Finally have your attention.
So you'll notice in this one and in some of the previous assets that we've shown that this version of DMC is a little less fantastical in terms of the environment. It's more modern. It takes place in kind of a cityscape area. To pair with that, we've sort of put in some of the same societal ills that we'll see in our real world. So reality TV, media, cable news in particular. And I think that if anyone has seen any amount of cable news and one particular American outlet that shall go unnamed, much of the upcoming will seem depressingly familiar, if not a little exaggerated for comedic effect. Now, in addition to the news media, we'll satirize other elements of societal ills and cultural excesses, media, finance, maybe even take a few shots of reality TV and pop music while we're at it. And in the game, we will lay this all at the feet of sort of the pernicious demon influence that pervades humanity. So, I talked about continuity earlier. We've talked about it in some of my previous chats with the media. This idea of we've had it in combat. We've now, with showing Virgil, have achieved some element of that in the story, which is important. Bosses are also a standard that we have to live up to for previous DMCs as far as what expectations are. And I think that once you see this character, you'll see that he is over the top and a spectacle, but he's a character that really could only exist in our version of DMC.
This is Bob Barbas, just doing God's work.
Hey, Bob. Put a spin on this.
My personal view on the terrorists is that they are disgusting, degrading, ghastly, sleazy, period, and generally nauseating. The worst of them is Dante. The whole world would benefit greatly by his non-existence.
I'm taking you off the air.
You think so? I wouldn't bet on it, you little shit. what we have here is some truly shocking footage of the terrorist, known as Dante, at the Bellevue Pier recently. So what do we know about this Dante? Several people have now come forward, and investigators have pieced together a shocking history of violence. At age 8, he attacked and killed the head nurse at St. Lamia Orphanage. She was described as a sweet old lady who particularly enjoyed working with children. Between the ages of 11 and 15, he broke out of no less than 8 youth detention facilities, often mounting brutal, humiliating attacks against the prison officers just doing their jobs. Between 16 and 17, he became involved in gangs, drug peddling, and is believed to be responsible for over a dozen homicides. And worst of all, he was also a well-known cruiser in the seedier districts of the city, rapidly spreading sexual disease of the unholy kind.
It ain't that the best kind, Bob.
Way to go on the Triple S Dom. So that was just a small section of that boss encounter. And I'd like to say, sort of by way of closing, that on the show, we're going to have for the press an additional piece of exclusive gameplay for Gamescom only. So I really invite you guys to come take a try and play it. We're very proud of it. And DMC will be available January 15th, 2013, PS3 and Xbox, with the PC version following shortly thereafter. Thank you guys very much.